All right, we were just discussing how images can have geolocation information on it, including the latitude and the longitude of where you were when you took that picture. Now, we just want to give you an idea of how easy this geolocation is to look at. Now, we can use this for good and positive things as well. However, if you are taking pictures at home, you don't need to know where that was through geolocation. And if your children are traveling or you're traveling, you're out on business trips viewing and seeing individuals, you may not want others to be able to go and find your exact location. There's a lot of reasons. So here is an image that I have. Now we took this picture on a trip in London. It's from a public area, so it should be fairly safe to share with you. And we'll just go ahead and bring the picture up here. We are just using Windows Photo Viewer. Now you can see that this is a picture of the Tower of London. Well, let's go and take a look at the details, where this is, where it was, and we'll go from there. So I am just going to do a quick right click and go to Properties, and we can see that, okay, yeah, the image name is no big deal. I use the Windows Photo Viewer, not a big problem here. Now let's go over to Details here. And most of these are normal, so if we had a title and ratings and tags and that kind of thing, comments, all that would be here, including if there was an author, etc. So we've got the date that it was taken. So you can see that it was taken November 1st, 2014 at 6:05 in the evening. At least this is the time that was on the device that this was taken with. We assume that was correct. And we can see the dimensions, the DPI, bit depth, really nothing out of the ordinary here. We can get down here to the camera, so you can see that this was taken with an Apple iPhone 5S, and here is the f-stop, the exposure time, the ISO speed. Everything is pretty normal there, right? All right, so we'll keep scrolling down on here. We can see the brightness, the digital zoom, the EXIF version. Associated with that EXIF version, we have the GPS coordinates as well. Here we go. Latitude, longitude, altitude. Interesting. We can see the other minor components involved with this. Again, pretty normal here. Now we can see that we are on a computer named Corvette. That's kind of cool. Not that it matters much. So we can see the latitude and the longitude. Now, this may or may not be a big deal for you. However, I will tell you this. Some women that we have helped over the years, they didn't understand why or how their stalker was finding them. Now, these women use Facebook fairly often, and they would take and post pictures. The hacker simply would just download those pictures or get access to those pictures. And the women, they didn't even know that the stalker, I shouldn't call him a hacker. I mean, this is much worse. They didn't even know that he was on Facebook or was a friend of them. And sure enough, he ends up with a picture that's got a latitude and a longitude already in it. So there are many, many, many ways that we can view this information. Now I'm just going to show you one real quick way of making use of this. I'm going to take you to a web page called GeoL Manager, GeoLMGR, and you can see that this is in beta format. We're going to do a quick upload of that same exact file. I'm going to go to my desktop. We're going to scroll on down, and there it is. There is that picture. It will take a little time to upload. All right, so we see that the picture was uploaded, and now we see here to the left, we see the picture, and you can see that it was downtown London. We can go ahead and keep scanning it. We'll see how accurate this geolocation actually was. Now remember, we're utilizing the GPS coordinates off of the iPhone itself. That looks pretty good. I had dinner right down there, St. Catherine's Docks. Good stuff. Anyway, okay, all right, so I'm going to switch to satellite view. We'll keep zooming in. Okay, so according to these GPS coordinates, we were here in these trees, and I can promise you that I did not climb a tree, or at least didn't take a picture of that, but it does get us fairly close. I was actually over here on the sidewalk. Yeah, that looks familiar, and I was facing the south. So you can see here that it's pretty close, actually. At least it's going to get me in the right area. Now, the geolocation is going to give you some pretty good information regarding where things are and what was going on. So if you're on a business trip and in places that you don't want people to know you were, or you're an individual that has problems with stalkers. Hopefully you're not, but that's all sorts of negative things could go on in your life with this. You may want to pay attention to what's going on with regards to the pictures that you are posting and where you are taking them from. All of the phones have GPS, every one of them out there. And if you have enabled the GPS device, it is going to place the GPS coordinates in the picture at the time it was just taken. So just keep that in mind. Now, of course, we can turn those devices off. You don't need GPS on, so don't leave it on. That would minimize some of this risk. So this was just a quick example of how easy it is to find out where you were when a picture was taken, and we know that this can be used for both positive and, well, obviously negative means.